Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is Draft Day Sports College Football 2019, episode number 43. We finished up our bowl game with a victory. We are 9-4, but all the other bowl games still have to take place. Now, I have taken the time to go through and quick sim many of the games, the lesser games, so that it'll speed up the process, but then we're going to quick sim the rest of these games to figure out who the champion is for this year. So some of these smaller games I'm not going to really look at. You're going to have to just kind of glance for yourself. But here's one big surprise. Alabama just 7-5. Yeah, at the Brooks Farm Bowl. So, Bama really starting to drop off a bit, though. They do take the win over North Texas. Stanford and Memphis. The Heroes Bowl. Stanford gets that win, 8-5 now. Houston, 9-4 versus Penn State in the Yukon Bowl. And it's Houston with the win, and it moves them into the rankings. Here's Fresno at 10-2 against Michigan. That's a good matchup. Michigan has every chance to win that game, but Fresno's had a good season. No, they're going to drop that one, though. 38-14. Still ranked somehow. There's Rutgers and Arkansas, top 25 matchup. Just. Rutgers with the victory. Auburn was just 7-5 themselves before getting their victory. There's our final 27-7. Despite 4 turnovers, we got the job done, and their one score came off of a turnover. Here's San Diego State in their big bowl game, the Ohana Bowl, aka the Aloha Bowl. Or at least I think that's what it's called, right? Playing 9-3 Western Kentucky, and they do get the victory. Good for them. Tight game, 24-16. Kent, 10 victories. But they lose this one. I went down, not up. I didn't check any of these games. I would have quick simmed these couple. Clemson, just 23rd in the rankings. 9-3 against Florida. Not ranked, 8-4. And Florida takes the win over Clemson, so Clemson drops to 9-4. That's definitely a disappointing result for them. Ohio State, not ranked and just 8-4. That's a surprise as well. Few teams having really shocking years. And Ohio State gets the upset over Georgia. Not even enough to get themselves ranked. And that was a fourth quarter comeback. Texas A&M with the win over Northwestern. The Mistletoe. UCLA, Michigan State. Michigan State squeezing that one out. Florida State, TCU. Top 20 matchup. LSU comes out on top. Okay, here we go. Boise State and Rice. This is one of the major bowl games. And Boise State comes out on top. Puts them 10th in the nation. Tight finish, 3-point victory. All the scoring done in the second half. The Nacho Bowl. Top 11 matchup. Louisville beating up on BYU in this one. Alright, here's the one I've been waiting for. Oregon and Notre Dame just missing out on a playoff appearance. Oh, Notre Dame, a massive second quarter. Comes away with the small victory. 3 interceptions for the Oregon quarterback. Told you, game's a little less representative than real life is because you put them in bowl games against top 10 teams. Notre Dame gets blown out every time. When they play top 25 teams, they might squeeze a victory. South Carolina beating Virginia on this one. And finally, we're down to it, the playoff. Well, let's start with the more likely decided one. We've got 2 undefeateds. Oh, did I miss something? Go ahead and simulate the week. No, don't simulate. No, don't simulate that. Well, okay, fine. Do it. Whatever. So, there we go. We've got Miami 45-14 over Nebraska. And LSU with the upset over Oklahoma 17-12 with 10 points in the fourth quarter. Leaving Miami as the only undefeated team left in the nation. They'll face the third-ranked LSU Tigers. And I have a lot of emails. We are going to the Cajun Bowl. Apparently, they are excited. All-Conference and All-American. Walter Crawford, 51 pancakes. All-Conference for him. And Claudio Meyer, strong safety, 74 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, a defensive touchdown, and 2 fumble recoveries on the season. Make the all-conference teams. And Meyer won the Defensive Player of the Year. Nice. Not just the all-conference team, but the actual Defensive Player of the Year. And we definitely made the Cajun Bowl. David Seal signed. So we got our man there. That did leave me with 2 vacancies that I opted not to fill. But let's get back to it. 1 game left on the season, just the national championship. Down to 2 teams, 2 schools, 2 colleges, Miami and LSU. And Miami goes undefeated to win the national championship, 15-0. Come out on top of this one, 20-14 in a low-scoring and tight contest. LSU in both games combined for just 31 points, less than what Miami put up in the first game, and much less than what they put up combined. But it was still close in that championship game. But that's going to wrap up the season. Now we've got... Oh, we're still going to the Cajun Bowl. We've already been there. Thanks. Okay, let's move on to the awards because, time and all. Most outstanding player, Oregon's quarterback, even though it was 33-13. That's quite a few interceptions, including 3 in their bowl game. Fresno's tackle, 84 pancakes. Okay, we're going to skip the Senior Bowl. And we're ready to end the season. So we're going to move on. So main purpose for this episode, besides what we just got, is our progress report going forward, seeing what we have, kind of setting ourselves up for the next year. I lost one junior. Claudio Meyer, Defensive Player of the Year for the conference, is entering the draft. So that strong safety is out. He was at 87 overall. That hurts. In addition, there's a little more pain in here too. Seaman had a big part to play a couple years ago, not as much in recent times. He was in 80, still a good player. Pittman in 83. Clark, that's one big loss. Our kicker in 87. Ware, a massive loss because he was in 88. Wilkins in 88. Also losing redshirt player fullback Collins. Minor loss, but we lost our other kicker as well. So a lot of quality that is gone from the program now. That's February 1st. Prestige has jumped quite a bit, though. It's up to a 47 now. We started with, a 32? So we've brought that up 15 points already. Take a look at the staff. How are we looking? We've got plenty of time left on our guys. They're both 2 stars. I'm still a half star, or is this not upgraded yet? Don't think this is upgraded yet. At least I hope it hasn't. Because as far as I know, this is what I already had. So, see if there's any improvement as we move forward. Staff signing week, okay. I have the chance to fire myself. And yes, it has updated because we just added a half star for coaching defense strategy-wise. Boy, this takes a long time though. This really takes a long time. 6 years. And this is it? This is all we've gotten in 6 years? I'm going to die before I even become a decent coach. No new coaches, so they both have years left. I've got 99 years left. Apparently it's going to take me that long to get decent. My reputation's up to a 74, though. I thought we were moving forward. What's going on here? There it goes. Okay, on to signing day. Another big ticker for us. Looks like some early preseason favorites. Ohio State, who weren't even ranked at the end of the season. Michigan State. who weren't ranked. These are all lower ranked teams. Looking at a very different setup this year. So the kicker just a 75 and 2 stars. But we took another kicker, an 82, 3 stars. I like that. That's good. Okay. Our 2 centers suck, though, horribly. Our 2 defensive ends, also very poor. So we're going to be hurting in that department. These are mostly the guys we signed at the last minute, right at the end. So no surprise that they are down in quality a bit. But we're already from here, we're 78 and above, 79, now 80 and above. So we've got a center who's an 80, a fullback that's an 80, that's a decent replacement. Linebacker that's an 80, tight end that's an 81, kicker that's an 82. He should be the instant starter. Tackle that's an 82, he very well could go in straight into the lineup. Running back that's an 84, transfer from Kentucky, and a transfer from Wisconsin. Okay. So we picked up a decent running back as a transfer. I like that. Punter, that's an 84 already. And Schumann, yes, that was the high-ranked guy just outside of the top 100. An 86 straight off the bat. So not as good of a year recruiting-wise as what we've had. It's really not. But it's tolerable. There's some decent quality in there. So this year's recruiting class ranked 48th, technically much better than last year's, but it was the size that was different. Relative rank, more indicative of the efforts, is 25th. That's pretty awesome. So that actually ended up being a decent class. Preseason rank is 55th. That's going up a lot from where we've been. I don't quite remember where we were last year, but Media Project finished around 54th in the national rankings. We expect to finish at least 9th overall in our conference. They say it'll be tough. They're looking for 6 wins. Oh, there you go. Schumann. So actually only 365 was his rank. The fullback was 670. We had a tackle that was a 712. That was the 82. And then that was it. 3 decent players. We got a little more than 3 decent players out of it, so it's not too bad. Let's clean that up. We're going to go on to training camps now. A lot of guys with no gain, but at least there was no loss. It's always one that I would not be a fan of. Okay, so we start with minor gains here. New guys like Schumann. Hoffman just coming in. Gains 2 points. Casillas gains 2 points. Hennessy, Kirkwood both gaining 2 points. Keenan gaining 2 points. Okay, starting at 3 points. The new receiver, Seal, Madrigal, Johnson. Those are all the young guys just coming in. Cardoza. There's Alvarez. Okay, into 4 points here and above. There's Bonner. Treadway. Tang. Okay, McNair, wide receiver. Let's see, we're getting up to 5 points and above now. Halverson. Nice. Halverson was an 82 coming in. He just picked up 5 more points. That's going to be nice. Parks, is that the punter we just brought in? That'll be good for him as well. Gowart, Hoover, Bills, Holcomb. Okay. Langston. Most likely our new starting quarterback. 5 points of progression for him is fantastic. Crawford, there's Tovar with 6 points of progression. That's massive. Bunn, Thiel, Free, 6 points of progression. He could be the starter again this year as the punter. I think he'll be a senior. Let's see, 7 points of progression for Carranza. Is that one of my freshmen? Wells, Soriano, 8 points for Poland, Casio, and Jolly. 9 points for Wyman. And then Trailer, I don't know. Ness, I don't know. 10 points for him, though. So, is that the transfer running back? I don't know. But really good gains. I don't think I've had a player with 10 before, have I? That's still, I think that's a lot more than I've seen in recent seasons. It seems like we're getting a little bit better, right? Okay, we're on to setting red shirts. Always a tricky task. Going to do that by getting into the roster, and we're going to break it down one position at a time. But first, going to look at the overall. So we have a redshirt senior is the worst player on the team. He'll be gone soon. And then we've got some freshmen that are very much at the bottom. Those guys are all likely to redshirt. But look at that. Just on this first little section, we're already at 77. That's different. That is definitely different. And we've got a couple 90s now. Tovar and Wyman as juniors are 90s. We've got some 87s. Those are all juniors. Kirkwood in 86. Mullis in 86. Schumann, the freshman, coming in 86. Parks, the other freshman. Punter in 85. Just a little bit off. But it's all 3-star guys now, isn't it? Just a few 2-stars at the bottom of the list. I like that. That's good. Positional averages. Let's look at this real quick. So kicker is hurting a little bit. The center, tackle, and guard line still hurting. Quarterback is hurting. That's not a good sign. Everybody else is 80 plus. Well, let's start there with the quarterback. We've got 4. 2 freshmen. And I might redshirt both of them. So Prince Langston, 83 overall. That's not bad. It's definitely not a great replacement for Ware. This could be down for us a little bit. But as a redshirt sophomore, he's got some time to play and hopefully continue to improve. His arm's in 84. Does not have much speed. He's got good agility, at least. Almost looking at West at the moment. West has a better arm. Oh, there you go. Intelligence, 88. Similar accuracy. I definitely like the intelligence, and I can see why he's 4 points better. That and the agility. Don't care about the hands. We're not going to do any crazy flea flickers or anything like that. But I do want both of these guys to redshirt. You can always pull a red shirt if there's injuries. In terms of comparison, these two are identical overall. Patel looks well ahead, but the intelligence favoring Magical. And the accuracy. He's an 87. He's already the most accurate passer we've got. Okay, running back. 86, 85, 84. I like that. Is Dixon the one who just transferred? Status. Transfer. Yeah, okay. So he's a transfer, but I can't redshirt him? That sucks. because he's got a red shirt. So Kirkwood, Bentley, main guys this year. We'll have Dixon for next year to replace the production lost by Kirkwood. But we are definitely lacking depth below this. And I didn't get a running back recruit. Thought for sure I got one. Where did they go? Ooh, nice. The freshman's going to step in right away. Or will he? Let's see. Intelligence is the same. Does not have the hands, but he's got speed. He's got better agility. Strength is similar. Here's the big one. Run block. Pass block. Yeah. So he will start. He's not going to redshirt. We only have 2 anyway. Tight end. That's some quality right there out of 4 guys. And the freshman right into the mix. So probably not going to redshirt him either. Wide receiver. Much better here. Lilly, Huggins, Bradley, Poland, Trailer. Here's Seal. Let's redshirt Seal. There's plenty of depth. Okay, guard. Bunn and Keenan on top. Crawford and Roy are the main backups. Could definitely redshirt this guy. Let's do it. Don't want to redshirt. Go back and redshirt them as they are necessary. But it's nice to be able to actually redshirt a freshman and not have to play them because they're on the 2 deep, but not really good enough. Okay, Halverson is good enough to go straight into the side. We also bumped some guys down, like Bottoms, who's now down to 5th on the depth chart, in which case I think we could probably redshirt Bottoms this year, get another year out of him. And then redshirt Sandberg as well. And that's going to help us build some quality. Got a senior going away. Okay, on to the center position, where I have 2 freshmen. 3 freshmen. How did I end up with 3 freshmen here? Including Estes, who's looking a little bit off, but not going to play elsewhere. We'll see if he improves rapidly. You could switch to guard. I think maybe we need to do that. Well, we'll see. What is his rating right now? 77. What happens if I put you to guard? 75? I think we can work with that. Now, here's the big question. And yes, I think we can afford to redshirt Leak as well, because there's 4 guys still, and he's 3rd, and these guys are right there. He could be a 4-year starter. I'm feeling positive about one position finally. Going back on guard for a moment, though. There's Kraus, yeah. Oh, you know what? I held off on getting another guard, too, didn't I? At the end of last season, I did. So that was one of the ones that I didn't end up filling because I didn't want to go so far down on quality. I know he was a 77 at center and a 75 here, but he can recover that. Good, that makes me happy. Something went right. Punter, looking really strong. Let's redshirt the freshman. Might as well. We've got Mullis. Freeze there. But what's the difference? Here we go. Kick power, kick accuracy. Yeah. He's got the power already. Needs to work on his accuracy a bit. But there's a backup there already. So go ahead and redshirt. It's a lot of red shirts this year. Right now we're looking at 21 seniors, 21 juniors, 19 sophomores, 24 freshmen, and I'm redshirting a lot of them. Part of that because the group isn't quite as strong as some of the recent recruits, and partially because we recruited more guys. Both freshmen. We end up with 2 freshman kickers. And one's going to obviously start. Big difference between the two. Let's redshirt this guy, Hoffman. Is Hoffman even a scholarship player? Suppose so. I don't see anything that suggests he's not. Okay, defensive tackle. Weakest guy is the freshman. You see, he only went below an 80. But at 78, that's not bad. I think that was the other one we sacrificed? No. No, it's not. Okay, defensive end. Wow, 2 much weaker players. They're both freshmen. Ouch. Hopefully they'll improve a lot going into next year. But it is obvious that they are the ones who need to redshirt. And with, no red shirts above them, this is a good thing. Finally redshirt some players. Finally have enough depth, enough quality to actually start using that again. Get that 5th year of eligibility out of players. We do have a freshman linebacker in Carranza that's up there and in the mix. And then there's 3 others. What the heck? How did I end up with 4 linebackers? That was a bit of an accident. I think I was trying to get 2 and I selected a 3rd. I don't know how I got that into 4 though. It looks like he's decent as a defensive end or a strong safety. He's a 78. Let's see what happens. 88 as a defensive end. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Now that changes everything. This guy can play other positions too. Let's see what happens. He's a 76. 75 is a strong safety. But if we go down to defensive end, what happens with you? He's an 83. Let's go back to defensive end for a second. Yeah, Ledbetter just became the best guy. That's crazy. Travis Ware, the 83, is actually far enough down to redshirt. And then we can look at if these guys play another position. By the way, they do this all the time in real life, switching positions like this. He is very much a defensive end, though. But let's see what happens if we go linebacker. No, he drops down. So let's go back. How about Omar? Wow, he's got some size. 6'6". Nose tackle. No change. What about if we go to linebacker? Changes the wrong direction. So we go back down here. Did we need a defensive tackle? I am a bit light here. He's very similar skill-wise. Okay, so we'll move him on. That was already linebacker that we went through. We are very strong at corner. Wyman is a 90 now. Bonner's an 87. Schumann, true freshman, comes in. Is an 86. Thiel's an 85. Cardoza is an 84. Actually, I half tempted to redshirt Cardoza for the year. Strong safety. Freshman is an 80. But he's third on the list. It's difficult because that puts him into the territory, right? To be on the depth chart. I think you kind of need a fourth to justify redshirting him. Here, though, he's third, but you do have a backup. So we can redshirt him. And there you go. That's our roster. That's the punter. Yeah, you can see how many players just, especially the better players, never redshirted. There's a lot of players that were able to redshirt this year. This has got to be the most I've ever been able to. That's 10. That's 14, 15, 16, 17 red shirts. Wow, okay. It's both good and bad, right? One of them was a sophomore, at least one. But we do have 21 seniors this year. So let's take a look at what we're losing. Charles Hart in 82. The redshirt guys, not much quality there. But what about the true seniors? Thomas Johnson, Joseph Tang, Daniel Jolly, Kirkwood, which of course we already have a replacement for him at least. Keenan, Thiel, Bradley, what we're losing this year is definitely not as bad as what we've lost in previous seasons. So what I'm going to be doing next, I'm going to go through and figure out what I need replacement-wise for recruits. Of course, we'll have a depth chart to set all ahead of the first game of the season. But if you've seen this series at all up until this point, you already know how the recruiting goes until we get high enough to really start competing prestige-wise. 57's getting there. It is getting there. There's got to be a way to see. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so prestige. Players, average overall. Fan approval, bandwagon, that's all big stuff. Let's see where we fit. So prestige is 47. We have an 81 overall now. 25, and we're a 9-10. So fan approval is a 9. Bandwagon's a 10. We've really bumped those up a lot. Our fans are very, very happy with what we've done. Our fan base, though, is still only a 25. So it's a small fan base, but it's growing. But that 81 overall is pretty good, all things considered. Now that prestige comparison, though, Alabama's dipping to a 93 now. And you can see we're actually better than some schools now. Akron, there's quite a few that are close here. Buffalo is below us. Coastal Carolina, Charlotte. I'm sure I'm missing some, but go quickly through here. Eastern Michigan. Level with Florida International. Ahead of Georgia Southern. Georgia State. Almost to Hawaii. Well, we've caught up to them. We're ahead of Idaho now. We've almost caught Kent State. Ahead of Louisiana Monroe. Massachusetts, wow, UMass, only a 38. We have been beating up on them the last couple of years. Miami, we're ahead of them now. New Mexico, level with New Mexico State. That is big progress from where we were to where we are now. There's more, but you get the point, and I get the point too. Point being, we've come a long ways, and we're definitely leaving some of the lower tier schools behind in terms of prestige. But to be recruiting fairly normally, right? To have a chance, we've got to get up here with, Pittsburgh, Purdue, Rice, even Oregon State. That's where we're going to have to get to where we can actually start competing and not just going for scraps all the time. But going for scraps, for the most part, works really well, really helps us out. I'd like to start recruiting a few players regularly, but remember, the coaching ability it's still crap. Just not there. Oklahoma's a 10-10, but we're a 9-10. That's awesome. That fan base, it's coming along. It's coming along. Does it only go up to 50? Well, let's see. Biggest stadium is Ohio State, right? A 52. Michigan's up there as well. They are now just a 41, 46. LSU is a 56. After getting to the national championship, Clemson's a 57. Well, that seems to be about what you can get. But yeah, Alabama fan approval, a 1. And the bandwagon is definitely going away. Their average overall still an 85.3. That's still a really good team. Wow, we're up there. We're in the mix, especially that average overall. Right? Air Force is a 49 prestige. We're a 47. We're 6 points better than them overall. So, yeah. We're only 4 points worse than Alabama with half their prestige. Appalachian State, team we just beat, their prestige was a 56, and we're 1.5 points better overall. And we've definitely moved ahead of them in certain respects. So we're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I'll take it. That's going to do it for this episode. I'll be ready to get us started on the first game of the season. Get those depth charts in order. Get all that taken care of. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.